Welcome to dsf.my YouTube channel. My name is Daniel Fernandez. Some of you know me, some of you don't know me. It's okay. More importantly, you must know this electric car. This is another product from BYD. This is their latest product to land in Malaysia. Following their water, sea, ocean theme, this is called the Sealion 7. Now, you know about the BYD Seal, very popular sedan. You know the Atto 3, the first SUV to come into Malaysia from BYD. Then you know the small little Dolphin. So this is the Sealion. So why is it called the Sealion? Well, they're saying it's designed to look like a sea lion. They call it an SUV. I'm calling it a crossover with sporty intentions. Why? You got that nice, sleek, coupe-like shape. You got those 20-inch wheels, and you still got a lot of space. You got that black cladding, flat black cladding. And then you got this nice rear spoiler that works with the coupe-like profile, and another smaller spoiler here. So, BYD Sealion 7. This competes directly. If you look at the shape, you look at the design language, you look at the size, the width, it competes with the soon to be launched in Malaysia Tesla Model Y, also known as the Juniper. Now, in terms of footprint, this car is slightly bigger than the Juniper. In terms of height, the Tesla is slightly taller. So cabin space, about the same. But what is unique about this car is, it is cheaper, much cheaper, yet it offers similar performance and a very interesting tech, which I'll explain soon. First, let's look at the luggage area. Now, a family traveling in Malaysia, large luggage, medium-sized luggage, backpack. There's still room for more backpacks. You have 520 liters of luggage space in this BYD Sealion. This is before you drop the rear seats. And then underneath, you have another space. But of course, you want to put your charging cables and all that. But if you're not carrying your charging cables, you can easily put that backpack inside here. Now, if you wanted to drop the rear and get more space, let me show you. Wait there. It folds almost flat, not completely flat, but almost flat, very easily. And this gives you 1,789 liters of boot space. That's a lot of boot space. There's only two of you traveling. Of course, most people travel with a family, but I'm saying if you happen to travel just two of you, a lot of boot space. Or if you like, furniture that you can assemble yourself. I'm not going to mention the store, but furniture that you can assemble yourself. You have a lot of space to carry flat packs and small assembly furniture. Or if you happen to go to the electrical store and buy yourself a 50-inch TV, you can put it in here. Now, before we go more about the BYD Seal tech, come over here and let me show you the kind of space you get at the rear. Now, of course, I'm not a tall person, but look at the space. Now, earlier, there was a 6-foot person driving this car. So 6 foot at this angle, still a lot of space. Charging outlets, so your kids or family members can charge their devices. Aircon vents, very important. You drop this down, you got two cup holders, you got a small compartment here for your handphone or maybe your money. Nicely designed seats, nice pockets, isofix points, and 3 separate headrests. Now, what I like much about this BYD Seal, which a lot of Chinese-made electric cars are missing, Sliding cover for the panoramic roof. Now, you might say, oh, the glass is UV resistant and everything else. But we live with a lot of sun in our country. So we need this cover because when it gets really hot, you would like to close it. And it's powered, it's easy, and it keeps away a lot of the heat. And at night, if you want to open it up, yeah, fine, why not? So let's get into the front seats. You get in, electric seats, of course, beautifully put together, nicely sculptured, large screen. As usual, BYD will give you a screen that can, change its profile, which is supposed to be better for navigation, but it's a large screen. So even if you don't flip it, it still works very well for navigation. Lots of apps. Everything you would want is here, easy. Plus, you got karaoke. BYD has included karaoke function. You just have to click this. You get a whole bunch of options, and they provide you with a brand new microphone. And the microphone comes from BYD. Look at it. It's got a beautiful case. And here it is. Wireless. Just plug in at the bottom, choose your song, start singing. I don't have a good singing voice. I have a terrible singing voice, so you're not going to hear me sing. So we'll leave that for another day. But you have the option of having a karaoke session in your car with your family on a long drive. So this is something that, every new electric car that comes along, they will think of something new to tick the box and say, hey, we're better than the next. Now you got dyno audio sound system. So the karaoke with the dyno audio working is great. So you got a driver instrument cluster, you got heads-up display. Now the heads-up display has got a lot of information. It's got nearly everything you would need on your daily drive cycle, so you don't have to look down here. And it's in color. That's a great thing about it. I like the fact that I'm taking the assumption that BYD has listened to some of the feedback from media, including myself, and put the driver instrument cluster flushed into the dashboard. The next thing I'm waiting for is for this to be flushed with a cowl. Now I know if they do that, they can't flip it. But I'm saying now when the screens are so big, maybe you don't need to flip it. I'm just saying that. But I like the fact that they flushed this. They've got good touch and feel material points. Nice grab handle here to close the door. And a lot of features that were missing with a lot of new electric cars. Now I'll explain that when we take a short test drive. 4.5 seconds. BYD proudly displays 4.5 seconds below the nameplate of this vehicle. Why? Because it does the 0 to 100 dash in 4.5 seconds. Impressive, right? But beyond all that, there's a lot of other features and interesting tech that I think I need to show you on a test drive. Come, follow us for a test drive. When you get into the BYD Sealion, the first thing you'll notice is how minimalist it is, but not too minimalist like recent electric cars we've been test driving. Now, if you're my age group, or if you're someone who's been driving an ICE car for a long time, you're not very tech savvy, the moment you get into this vehicle, you don't think it's an electric vehicle. Because why? Internal combustion engine cars today also have big screens, have very minimalist interiors. But the great thing about BYD, and I say the great thing is, which has impressed me, is they've maintained an interior that has traditional car drivers like me, or people who are not so tech savvy, coming into it and feeling right at home. Let me explain why. Okay, I've started up the car. There's actually a start stop button here. I can switch off the car and switch on the car. Other electric cars don't have it. Other electric cars, as you approach the car with the key in your pocket, it just powers up. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong for them to allow the cars to power up, but powering up means you're using up power before you even get going. You might take some time in the car. But all that aside, never mind. You got a traditional gear lever here. Like, modern ICE cars also have this gear lever. It's a small little thing. It's not a chunky thing, but it's a gear lever here. It's not behind the steering wheel. I like that. Because why? I feel like I'm driving one of my cars, one of my petrol-powered cars. And then you got your volume button here for your radio. I like that because I don't want to go into the system. Because why? This is something when I'm driving the car in traffic, if I want to change the volume, I just have to do this. I don't have to look down. I can keep looking up and use my hand to find the volume button. I can't do that with this because this is touch screen. And then a lot of other features like the mode, the aircon system, and the park system, they're all here, easy to use. And look at the functions on the steering wheel. It's got a lot of functions on the steering wheel to make your drive time a lot more, easier to adapt. So you adapt very fast to a BYD electric car.
Hi there.
I mentioned BYD and she's speaking to me.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Thank you, BYD. So having the normal stock controls here also allows first-time drivers, or maybe, if you're lending your car to a friend and they're not familiar with electric cars, it's easy for them to get to know the car. You don't have to sit down and explain, hey, you're driving an electric car, it's got this. So normal stock controls, nice fit and finish, nice chunky steering wheel. And here comes the acceleration. Do you really need it? Maybe not. Maybe yes. Once in a while you might need it. But if you drive it, you notice that coming from other electric cars, it's fast, but there's no jerk. There is no hesitation. It just goes. There is little thought put to it. So you must get used to that kind of power delivery. This 4.5 seconds is like driving a supercar. And yet this is a family vehicle, And it costs just 199,000 ringgit in Malaysia. For this spec, it's 199,000. The single motor version, which is slightly slower at 6 seconds, is 189. I don't see the need for all-wheel drive, but if it's only just 10,000 ringgit more, you might say, why not? Because look at the power delivery. Of course, with that also comes extra power usage. But we'll not talk about that right now. We'll talk about how nice and smooth this car is to live with on a daily basis. You've got wireless charging here, which is also with cooling air coming in. So if you have your phone to charge, you put it there, the phone won't get heated. There's cool air coming there. Aircon vents are here, also assisting straight to your body. Screen is easy to use. There's a lot of functions here. There's even a shortcut which you can do some of your, immediate functions if you really need to do it. Your apps are there. You can change your themes. Your radio is there. You've got Dyna audio speakers sound system, which is, like I said earlier, very good for, normal sound system, but also very good when you want to get into your karaoke. It drives like a regular ICE car until you feel the acceleration power. So you won't get intimidated when someone says, hey, this is an electric car. You don't have to think. Your power window buttons are here. Your mirror adjustments are here. For me, that's very important. Mirror, side view mirrors, external mirrors, when you adjust it, you want the buttons on your door. Because why? It's easy to do. Because when you want to park, when you want to get into tight spaces, straight away you can use a function at your fingertips. But if it's in here, you need some time to think about it. Of course, after living with the car some time, you can definitely use it. But again, you have to look away to use it. You have to look down to use it if it's all here. But if you've got important functions sitting out here with physical buttons, physical gear lever, physical buttons, then you don't have to look away from the windscreen. So This is the BYD Sealion, all-wheel drive, high spec, beautiful looking vehicle. I call it a sports crossover because it's got that sporty coupe-like profile, 21-inch wheels, wide tires. Did I say 21? No, it's 20-inch. 20-inch wheels. You got so much tech in the car to keep you safe. Like with all other electric cars and all other BYDs, the tech is always, amazingly good. You got a full-length panoramic glass roof with a powered sliding cover, another plus point, especially for us. You got comfortable seats. You got seats with cooling in it. Look, when you want to take a corner, you got a little camera there telling you what's on your left. Another great little feature to have. And a whole bunch of function that you will definitely need as you get going with this vehicle over the months of ownership. So go into a showroom, take it for a test drive, let the sales specialist explain all these little features to you, because why? It'll take some time for you to understand how well put together and how well equipped this electric vehicle is. Because it's all-wheel drive, I'm going off-road a little bit. Thank you for watching, and please share your comments, negative or positive. It helps us to get better. Switch off. I got a button. Fantastic feature.